Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the closing ceremony of HackMerced VI. This is the sixth iteration of HackMerced 2021, and we are virtual this year. So before we get started, hi, I'm Mary, your now HackMerced 7 director. And if you want to learn more of what I'm planning this year and our future team, find out more by applying next year's hackathon. So congratulations for coming to the end of our hacking weekend. I hope you guys attended some cool workshops, played some mini games with the HackMerced team and our MLH rep, Sean, and even get to connect and network with our mentors and sponsors. And over the course, we saw some amazing projects and pretty incredible demos. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you for a successful hackathon. And I know it's been rough since it's virtual and we don't get that one-on-one conversation with our mentors or even like playing activities, but I hope our HackMerced team and everyone else makes you feel like we are in a hackathon. And we had 30 plus incredible submissions, well, 40 actually, and 400 plus hacker attendees and 1,000 plus thank yous to everyone who have made everything happen for HackMerced. So for our amazing judges, have just gone over your fantastic demos and picked the finalists for our theme this year. So, which is not like an easy job. It's pretty rough. It's been like fantastic demos, and it's been hard for judges to pick only top 3 for our themes. So a huge thank you to our judges for taking their time this Sunday to be at HackMerced, and we have chosen our finalists this year. And I'd like to invite some of our winners to showcase their demos in this closing ceremony. You can also look at our announcement later on where we'll post about the incredible demos, which will include the dev post link. You can see what everyone have submitted and we have seen today from our amazing hackers, so definitely check that out. Now I'd like to announce our winners for our categories this year. And before you leave for our closing ceremony, I also want to take pictures of everyone's faces. So later on in the closing ceremony, so stay tuned for that.
Mary, before you go on the announcing, just check something. And we need to recount the cybersecurity. We actually have a tie for second and third. They have the same points. So we gotta separate the two. So don't announce that just yet. We'll send you the correct one pretty soon.
Okay. So now I'd like to announce the Best in Design hack. And our winner for our second place is Salted Fish Coffee. Thank you for demoing and participating in our hackathon. And our first place is Sustainably Yours. Great job. And now for our moonshot, our winner for our second place is Shorty. And for our first place is Blood Buds. And most of the first place will be showcasing their demos. And
hello everyone, welcome to Blood Buds. My name is Wan Hao.
Can you guys hear that?
So who are we and what do we do? So Blood Buds is a web application that basically tackles the issue in regards to the shortages of blood around the world. This platform creates a safe space for blood donors to connect with those in need, and it is aimed to make it easily accessible for anyone who's interested and who needs blood, with an extremely friendly UI. We hope that this simplicity and explicitity of the project allows users to easily comprehend the growing issue around the world.
Moving on to inspirations. According to WHO, 1 donated unit of whole blood can save up to 3 lives, and 90% of people who are eligible to donate blood are not doing so. More than 4.5 million patients await for blood transfusions each year in the US and Canada alone.
So next, how do we approach this problem? Shortages of blood donations are occurring all over the world. It has caused many countries to modify their requirements, making it more lenient. This is an increasingly concerning social issue, and if not handled, will grow into something beyond control. especially after COVID-19. We would expect many more health issues to occur. We at BloodBuds wanted to address this issue directly and create a platform that will raise awareness of this issue and as well as present a viable solution for the issue. We targeted this problem by connecting donors with potentially donees in need. Our current approach is aimed to tackle the issue of blood shortages around the world, connecting donors with donees, raising awareness of this growing concern, and providing a platform for safe and informational communication are all weapons geared towards addressing this problem. However, BloodBuds is currently only viable in countries with more lenient laws and regulations, since it does not consider if the donor's health qualifies to donate blood. A future implementation that will help bring BloodBuds to a global standpoint will be to implement verification of eligibility to donate blood and the status of health.
And finally, here's an animation to highlight the mobile compatibility.
Hello folks at HackMerced. So me, Shubham Patel and my teammate Ayush with two other teammates have prepared BloodBuds. What is BloodBuds? BloodBuds is a donor's website on which you can find blood donors in your current location, in the current location in which you are. It will show blood donors in the radius of 10, 20 and 30 kilometers according to your selection. For that, the donors will register themselves on the My Data panel. I have already registered as a donor, so I won't be doing that. And there are certain rules which you should not violate. If you violate any of these rules, then you cannot register as a donor. And after the registration, you will be prompted to the to the compatibility page on which you can check the blood compatibility. So like if you are a B negative blood group, but you don't know which blood groups can you take blood from, then you can check on this page. So like if my blood group is B negative, I can take blood from B positive, negative, AB positive and AB negative. Further, next section of our map, which is the most crucial and important one, is donor map, which Ayush will be explaining.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to explain the donor map section of our page. So basically, as you can see, there is this main map on the screen, and on the map, the marker with the label home, that is me. So that is nothing but the user logged in. So this is the live location of the user logged in, and all the markers surrounding him are basically the people registered on our website and their live location. So that in case of emergency, I can just find out the nearest person and I can find out his contact details by clicking on this and calling him. And similarly, I can also see his blood as well as his address. On this, I can make a call directly to him. So this can help you save precious time in cases of emergencies. So yeah, and there's another section called emergency alert. What happens here that if I write any distress signal like I need help,
I am in danger.
I am in danger. So this message gets sent out to all the people within a 2-kilometer radius of your live location and who are registered on a website. So this will help so that if anyone is close by and knows what to do in that particular kind of emergency, can come help you guys. So as you can see here, the last message, this is the one which I've just received when I click the button. It's that I need help, I'm in danger. And it also shows my address. And we have used Twilio API for SMS sending and Google Maps API for capturing the live location of our users. Thank you so much. This is our project, BloodBuds.
And one more thing, while registering, the data which is given by the user will only be displayed on the donor map. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, BloodBuds. Hold on. Oops. Okay, now for our ACM partnered prize is Best UC Merced related hack, and our winner is for second place is Build UCM. And our first place is the UCM basketball analysis.
Hi, my name is Jairo Carreon, and this is my project for HackMerced 2021. I did a data analysis of the UC Merced basketball team's statistics. So here it is. First, I web scraped data from the UC Merced basketball website. As you can see, I have a table of content right here. I imported some libraries, and I have some information about my functions right here. My first function is actually the web scraping part, right? So I call it individual stats box 1 because in the website there's boxes, individual boxes, and there's 2 boxes. So in this function, I basically just separated the classes, a TR table, made a whole data frame, and input it into the data frame, just like this. I had to clean it a little bit for both of them. Both of them do the same function, but one does for box 1 and the other one does for box 2. From there, I call each of the functions, as you can see here, for each of the seasons for the men's and women's basketball. And I merge them together because they share some data columns. So they share a number, name, GP, and GS. I changed the data types because they were all strings, so I had to change some of them to ints and some of them to floats. And from there, I created CSV files for all the seasons. So if you go to data, we go to men's individual data, and here it is. And for women's, here it is as well. Now we go to my other notebook right here. We have a table of content. I explain the data set, how many seasons the men's basketball had, how many seasons the women's basketball had, and the column information. So for people that don't know basketball, here it is. I import some libraries. I call the data sets that I just created in the last Jupyter notebook, right? For both, and I call them for both men and women's. I create some functions which I'll explain shortly. They call pi points, efficiency FG bar graph, and efficiency 3 FG bar graph. Pi points does this, an interactive graph of the total points the UC Merced basketball team. And yeah, my inspiration for this project was the NBA. I'm a basketball fan, and I really want people to know, to see that our basketball team is actually a pretty great part of the UC. And I really want to help the coaches see what they have to improve upon, because it was hard for me to find the data, and I'm sure it's hard for them to even analyze it. So that's my goal. My overall goal is to help them see what each player needs to improve upon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a couple of challenges. It was a one-man team, me, and yeah, it took me forever to do the web scrapping, and I still haven't even finished the notebook. However, I have everything here, and I feel like my next steps after this hackathon would be to create more of the functions and essentially create a website so the UC Merced basketball team can just go there, find their name, and look at each individual player and see the statistics behind it. And yeah, that's my whole project. Thank you.
Thank you, basketball analysis. Okay. Now we'll be talking about our MLH rep for our Major League Hacking, and our winner for our prizes are iDivision for best use of Google Cloud, Street Spots for best domain using domain.com, and EcoSafe for best hardware hack sponsored by DigiKey. And now for the biggest theme of all is the three main social, which is social good, the three main themes. And our winner is for third place is Pose Corrector. Second place, EcoSafe. First place is Sustainably Yours.
We often buy clothing that's only worn once before we move on to the next thing. That's wasteful and counterproductive when it comes to addressing the most pressing problem of our generation, climate change. What's more is that fast fashion, which is low-cost, rapidly produced clothing, isn't just environmentally harmful. It also exploits cheap labor in sweatshops around the world. That's where Sustainably Yours comes in. Sustainably Yours is a full-stack web app built using MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. And It's a way to fight back against fast fashion by introducing a digital website where people can log in and they can buy and sell secondhand clothing. This helps reduce waste so that we're not throwing away clothing excessively, and it also helps people avoid going to fast fashion retailers because they're able to buy other people's used clothing. So user authentication works using JSON Web Tokens. So I'm logging in as a user called Julie Smith right now. And then when I log in, you can see that I already have added some items for Julie Smith that she wants to put on sale on Sustainably Yours. So for instance, there's this moon sweatshirt that used to be $10 that she's selling for $8 now. So other people can see the items that Julie has put on sale and they can purchase them. And then Julie can also scroll down, she can see what other people have put on sale. And maybe she wants to filter it so she can just see what she wants. So she can filter it by gender, by price, maybe under $10, by type, also by condition. And she sees this dress and she really likes it. So she can contact a seller directly from Sustainably Yours. How this works is that Julie can sign in with Google. So this is through Google's OAuth 2 authentication. And this will give Sustainably Yours access to Julie's email through the Gmail API. And so then Julie can send the email directly to michellelum123@gmail.com through Sustainably Yours. So she can say, Sustainably Yours dress. Hi, saw your dress on Sustainably Yours and want to buy it. Let's talk. And actually, michellelum123@gmail.com is my personal email. So if I go check it, I should have gotten that email from Julie Smith. Let's go check it. And you can see indeed in my inbox, that email from Julie Smith pops up. And now I can respond to it and sell my dress to her. Now going back to Sustainably Yours, if Julie wants to make sure that I saw her email, she can also text me. And texting works through the Twilio SMS API. So I can say, just sent you an email about your dress. Let's talk about buying it. And that will send a text to me through the Twilio SMS API, and Julie will be able to text me. So if I go to my phone, I check out my notifications, I see the exact same text that Julie sent me through Sustainably Yours. Now, if Julie herself, if she's sold something, she can also remove that from her closet. So maybe she sold this California tee, and that will remove it from the database and no one will be able to see it on Sustainably Yours anymore. She can also add a new item. So maybe she has this cherry dress that she doesn't really like anymore. She can add a new item here. She'll sell it for $10 because it's pretty new. It's originally $15. It was from Shein. Shipping yes, pickup yes, no notes. And she can add an image as well. And then it pops up here and it will pop up in the database as well for other people to look at on the Sustainably Yours web app. So as a platform for people to buy and sell secondhand clothing, I really think Sustainably Yours has a lot of opportunity to help us live more sustainable lives and to help combat climate change.
Thank you, Sustainably Yours, for winning social good. Okay, now let's talk about our inclusivity theme. And our winner is, for third place, is Afera. Second place, Let's Meet. And for first place is Undyslexify.
Dyslexia is a learning disorder that directly affects reading, writing, spelling, and speaking skills. It is the most common learning disability, affecting as much as 17% of children in the United States. People with dyslexia typically have trouble reading fluently. They often read slowly and make mistakes that can impact how well they comprehend what they read. So I have created an inclusively designed plugin called Undyslexify that implements proven techniques to improve reading comprehension on the web for new reader, language learners, and people with learning differences such as dyslexia. This is the Chrome extension which I have created. So let's see how it works on a web page. So the first feature that it has is it can change the font of the web page. I'm using the Open Dyslexic font, which has been proven to be really useful for people suffering from dyslexia. It helps them read properly. So there's an option to change the type of the font. Let's stick with regular for now. The user also has an option to increase or decrease the size of the font. Another feature using the different lines and can easily concentrate on one line of text instead of being lost in so much text. The user can increase or decrease the width of the reading ruler depending on the size of the font which they have set. Then another feature which the Chrome extension provides is spacing adjust. The user can adjust the spacings between the words as well as between the letters. This will help them to distinguish between different words and letters easily. Then the last feature is line height adjust. The user can adjust the spacing between different lines of text using this feature, which will help the user to see the text as separate lines instead of being lost in so much of text on web pages. So these are all the basic features for the people with reading disabilities. Now there's another feature for people with learning differences, such as people with dyslexia. So using this feature, the user can listen to any word or text aloud.
Age.
Also, it provides an image for the text so that the user can understand the word visually as well. I have implemented this feature using Google Cloud APIs. I have used the Google's text-to-speech API for this
Visual
feature.
verbal.
And for providing the image, I have used Google's custom search API. The user can also listen to longer text using this feature.
Dyslexia is a brain-based type of learning disability that specifically impairs a person's ability to read.
So this is the demo for Undyslexify. I hope you all like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Undyslexify, for presenting your demo. Okay, now for our last main theme, which is cybersecurity. And our third winner is fake news. And for second place is it a safe space? And for first place is repo.inc.
From back in the days of IRC servers all the way to the modern day with all the very social media we consume, anonymity on the internet has always been seen as something almost sacred. And there's good reason that its importance is so heavily stressed by so many. The internet acts as a binding agent which holds the cultures of the world together in the information era. It allows for individuals to be denizens of the net, superseding national origin and their own physical identities to create entirely new communities. However, as our world moves forward and continues embracing the online culture, it's important to be mindful of our online identity and influence. As cybercrimes rise and machine learning makes way for increasingly convincing recreations of real people, the dangers to our online identity increases. To take matters into our own hands, as individuals, it's important for us to be responsible for our own digital security. That's where Repulink comes in. Repulink is an online service which simplifies cryptographic security for individuals. It allows anyone to create an account and start creating digital signatures which they can easily share to verify whatever they feel they need to. Though very similar to other sites for the user, registering for an account is very different on the back end. When a user hits the register button, an RSA key pair is generated locally on the browser. The private key is then encrypted using the user's password, and then, along with the unencrypted public key, sent over to the web server to be stored in a Google Cloud database. This method of registration is used to fully prevent access to private keys from anyone who isn't the correct end user, including server admins. To match the new registration process, the login process also never sends the user's password to the server. Instead, when a user attempts to log in, the server first returns the intended user's encrypted private key. The browser then decrypts it with the value in the password field to create a digital signature. The digital signature is then returned to the server to be checked against the user's public key and verified. If the verification succeeds, the user is granted an access token. Now that we're logged in, we can start creating signatures. Once again, our authentication system prevents our password from being sent to the server. Instead, when we hit sign, the server will send the encrypted private key to us for us to decrypt on the browser side and sign our signature. Once our signature is made, we're redirected to a web page detailing all of the information of our signature. It includes a QR code for easy transmission of the signature, the body of the signature, the hash of the body, a verification of the signature's authenticity made by our own browser, along with who made the signature. The QR code for a signature can very easily be copied from the web page to send to others. However, these signatures from this site alone does very little to identify you across the entire web. Due to this, Repulink can be connected to various other services using authentication to allow this app to be an aggregate for your online identity. We can even edit bits of her profile on Repulink. If we create a signature now, it'll look a lot more valid. Look at that. Now our signature has a lot more information backing it up, making it a lot more trustable online. You can even sign files. Signatures for files will even let you upload your own files to compare the checksums of the two. Repulink shows that by combining cryptography and various services OAuth APIs, we can create a very trustable source for identification and signing. Don't let anyone mistreat your digital identity.
Thank you again, Repulink. And congratulations, winning first place, cybersecurity. Now, our last category is for Citrus, and the title is Tech for Social Good, and our winner is first place, Fact Checker.
Welcome to Fact Checker. Even before the COVID pandemic hit, the World Health Organization had labeled vaccine hesitancy as one of the top 10 threats to global health. Statistics show that the media misleads the people by emphasizing highly negative and misinformative tweets about the vaccine. As a result, for each negative tweet, there's a 2 to 5% decrease in vaccination coverage for certain counties. There's a desire to recognize main geographic regions with negative perspectives about the vaccine. FactChecker web scraped for several tweets, uses machine learning to get the amount of misinformation per tweet for each area and plots each county on a graph. In order to do this, we first use the Twitter API to get the newest tweets tagged with the vaccine. We then use the sentiment analysis model to show the amount of generate the amount of misinformation and disinformation for every tweet. We then identify geographical misinformation by figuring out the location of the tweet, and we map it out using Chipotle.js. Our last small feature in our web app is the fact check link, where you can paste a link or enter a province, and the web app will tell you if the province you entered had a high amount of misinformation based on your last 100 tweets in that area, or if the link you entered is factual, or if it contains misinformation or disinformation. So let's get to the demo. Here's our main page for Fact Checker. As you can see, we have two features. Our first one is the misinformation visualization frequency map, and the second one is the in-depth analysis fact check. When we go to our visualization frequency map, we have a map that is color-coded of the United States. Currently, it's only for the US, but we hope to expand it globally. We have generated a map using Plotly.js with the varying misinformation amounts, as well as cases for each county. And you can see that there are some white spots, but that just means that the backend was unable to web scrape enough tweets from that region in order to make a conclusion. However, this map updates real time, so the colors of each region will change from time to time based on the prevalence of tweets. Our next thing is our in-depth analysis page. Users can enter a region, a county, province, city, or state, and the backend will find specific tweets sent by the Twitter users who live in that area. It will then make a conclusion about the amount of disinformation or misinformation that's in the area. For example, I'm going to write a city, so I have to separate with comma for the state. And it will tell us that the city we put had a misinformation that was low. And we can also paste the link, and the web app will tell us if the link is factual or contains misleading information. And it will tell us that the tweet has a high prevalence of disinformation. Thank you for listening to our project. Have a great day.
Wow. Thank you, Fact Checker. And oops. Okay. Congratulations for our winners, everyone, and everyone who participated. Thank you all for coming, and everyone that made HackMerced VI happen, especially virtually, including our sponsors, partners, judges, mentors, special guests, MLH and our MLH rep, our hackers for coming this weekend, and especially our HackMerced team. We have been planning this event for a year, and we can't be any more proud. So thank you all for coming. And for our winners, we will be contacting you about like future steps, also including MLH. And yeah, that's it for our closing ceremony. And if you guys have any questions, please let us know on our Discord.